Iran and the International Atomic Energy Agency have agreed on a deal to increase inspections of Iran's nuclear facilities. The framework for cooperation between the United Nations nuclear watchdog and Tehran should help boost a possible deal between Iran and world powers. The latest talks about a nuclear deal ended in Geneva on Sunday without an agreement. Nathan King joins us now live from the White House with the latest.
That's right, Mike. That separate deal just announced between the International Atomic Energy Agency and Tehran could help those talks when they reconvene with the international powers on November the 20th in Geneva. But what this separate deal does is allows more nuclear inspectors into Iran, especially looking at facilities they haven't looked at before, including the controversial reactor at Iraq, which could produce plutonium. After no deal in Geneva, a deal in Tehran.
Under the framework for cooperation, Iran and IAEA will cooperate further with respect to verification activities to be undertaken by the IAEA to resolve all present and past issues.
Under the deal, within 3 months, Iran would grant access to nuclear inspectors to the controversial heavy water reactor at Arak. The international community fears that Iran could use Arak to produce plutonium. Arak was a major stumbling block in this weekend's negotiations with world powers. Inspectors are also getting access to a uranium mine and facilities which produce refined uranium that could be potentially used in a nuclear bomb. This nuclear roadmap with the IAEA should help build confidence for a political deal between Iran and its international negotiating partners. US Secretary of State John Kerry was in the United Arab Emirates Monday trying to convince a skeptical region not to rush to judgment on any potential deal with Iran.
The time to oppose it is when you see what it is, not to oppose the effort to find out what is possible.
One of the fiercest critics of any potential deal with Iran is the US closest ally in the region, Israel, which has described offers to Tehran as the deal of the century. Meanwhile, the US Congress is moving forward with another round of sanctions against Iran.
If there's not any progress on any level over the next month between the United States and Iran and the nuclear file, then the naysayers, the skeptics, those who are opposed to any deal in principle will gain ground rather quickly, I think.
Yeah, and if these talks don't proceed, expect the military option, especially from Israel, to be back on the table. Now, the US has said it will walk away from a bad deal. They said no deal is better than that. But they've also said in the past that any military strike on Iran's nuclear capabilities, whether peaceful or not, wouldn't get rid of everything that they were concerned about. So we're really in the middle here of a debate about which way is the best way forward. And even allies, it seems, can't agree on this, Mike.
Well, Nathan, you already see Kerry trying to knock down the naysayers. Yeah. So where do things stand on the deal with the world powers, and are we likely to see a deal before the end of November, since this is a narrow window?
It is a narrow window, and it does look likely at the moment. Here are the sticking points. Iran maintains that it has a right to enrichment for peaceful purposes. If that's well below the 20% of enrichment of uranium, which could provide a breakout for a weapon, they want that enshrined in any deal. The international community, especially the US and Israel, have said we're not necessarily sure we can guarantee that. We talked about Iraq, this plutonium reactor which is under construction near Tehran. That could produce plutonium, which of course is another way to get to bomb apart from uranium. People think they don't necessarily need that, so that has to be agreed upon as well. But there are allies of the US, both in Israel and Saudi Arabia, that think this deal may be a bad deal for one reason. It may stop the clock on Iranian nuclear production, but what it may do is allow a clandestine program that perhaps people don't know about to continue and allow them to get further towards some sort of bomb. So there's a huge debate at the moment, but the US still feels, along with its allies, although there are differences, that this is a risk worth taking because the military option could create so much conflagration in a region that has seen so much.
All right, Nathan King live overlooking the White House for us this evening. Thanks so much.